Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to my latest video recipe. And in this one, and as promised after my lasagna recipe, this is how you can make the perfect all-round pasta dough using only 4 ingredients, and that's 00 flour, semolina flour, eggs and salt. And if you can't get hold of 00 flour, then plain or all-purpose flour can be used. You can view the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website. I'll leave a link in the description under the video, or you can click on the eye icon top right of the screen to take you directly to the recipe page. And I'd like to thank the Patreon and PayPal supporters for their very kind help. I'll be doing the shout out and name splash a little later in the video. Okay, let's get on with today's recipe. The best flour to use in making pasta is 00 flour. It has around the same strength in protein as plain or all-purpose flour. The only difference is it's milled or ground finer, and this produces a silkier and chewier texture. If you can't get 00 flour where you live, you can use 300 grams of plain or all-purpose flour. The other flour used in this pasta recipe is 100 grams of fine semolina flour. And once again, if you can't get hold of it, just replace it with plain flour. If you're in the UK, I got this semolina flour at Sainsbury's. And the only other ingredients you'll need to make great pasta is eggs and a little water and salt. Okay, now I'll show you how to make this pasta entirely by hand. First job, carefully weigh off all your ingredients, beginning with the 300 grams of 00 flour. Next, add to that 100 grams of the semolina flour, making a total of 400 grams of flour. And like I said earlier, if you can't get these flours, just use ordinary plain or all-purpose flour. It's not as good, but you can do it. Next, add your salt to the bowl. Onto the eggs. Now if you want to make your pasta perfect, you need to weigh the eggs in grams very carefully and without the shell. And just like working out the hydration percentage needed for making bread, we can do the same with this pasta dough. All you need is a calculator. And the formula is 61.5% of eggs to whatever amount of flour you're using. All you do is put the amount of flour in your calculator, in our case it's 400 grams. Now I'll multiply that by 61.5%. And that gives you the exact weight of eggs needed for this recipe, which is 246 grams. And this formula works with any amount of flour. Say you only need 300 grams of flour. You do the exact same calculation. 300 grams multiplied by 61.5%, and that equates to 184.5 grams of beaten egg. But mine is 400 grams multiplied by 61.5% equals 246 grams of egg. So when it comes to the eggs, you'll need 246 grams for this recipe. And the best way to get the precise weight is to crack as many eggs onto your scale without going over the required weight, and make up the shortfall with cold water. Right, with 4 eggs in, that comes to 242 grams, so I'll make it up to 246 grams with cold water. Once your eggs are weighed, give them a good whisk and set the jug aside for now. Okay, mix your dry ingredients together while they're still in the bowl. Now tip it all out onto the bench and form it into a well. Add the beaten eggs to the well. Make sure that your dam doesn't burst. Now slowly bring it all together using a fork as shown. Once you're sure it's not going to run all over the bench, use your baker's scraper to pull it all together. Once it looks like mine, set your timer away for 6 minutes and start to knead the dough with your hands. It will be sticky at first, so don't be tempted to add more flour, but if your measurements are correct, it will become much less sticky and smooth the more you knead it. Once the time's up, you should have a beautiful smooth and silky ball of pasta dough. Now give it a thin coat of olive oil as shown, and get it into a plastic food bag. Now let it rest in the fridge for at least 30 minutes before using it. And here it is after 30 minutes in the fridge. I'll cut a little off and show you a couple of examples of what you can make with it using the pasta machine. First, you can make lasagna sheets. Now here's an example of spaghetti pasta. Finally, this is tagliatelle ribbons. And after my book ad, I'll show you a very quick version of this mouth-watering tagliatelle Alfredo recipe. And at this point, I hope you don't mind if I give my 2 recipe books a bit of a plug. The books have lots of our favourite easy-to-follow recipes from our work kitchens in them. Both books are available in the website shop, along with lots of other equipment I use in the videos. And by popular demand, the skeleton-style oven gloves are now available too. Just click on the eye icon top right of your screen and that'll take you directly to the website shop. Start by adding approximately 200 grams of pasta into salted boiling water. Next to the pasta pan, heat up a frying pan and add 30 grams of butter and a couple of teaspoons of olive oil. After 2 minutes boiling, add the pasta to the frying pan. In this jar I have my homemade pasta mix, made up of minced fresh oregano, basil, garlic and olive oil. 2 teaspoons of that. Next, a good helping of freshly grated Romano or Parmesan cheese. Now add a little of the pasta water. Next, 2 tablespoons of fresh cream. Add a little more cheese and pasta water if needed. Finally, a good handful of freshly chopped parsley. And that's it, a quick, delicious and very tasty pasta dish in a couple of minutes. But this video is more about making your own pasta dough. Once you try it, you'll never go back to dried, shop-bought pasta again. It's so much better. Definitely a big thumbs up, guys. And as promised at the beginning, here is the latest list of my Patreon and PayPal supporters. And they are Kerry Bolus, Joe, Alex Zindel, Angela Lastovskis, Michael Butchin, John Timms, Anna Youngway at Dykes, Nest Egg OU, Dave Barlow, Michelle Livingston, Rotten Ronnie, Sandra Oss, Mark and Joshua Ratton, Stephanie Hogan, Dolly Daydreams, Keith Baumbach, Chris Kershaw, Clint Hall, Catherine Ross, Michael Riddy, Brayton Thompson, Andrew Cutbagan and Sheldrake Smith. And there's also one who wishes to remain anonymous. Thanks very much guys, I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.